Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to deal with some of the basic problems facing a Chinese, either from Taiwan or from Hong Kong. A Chinese who has a problem with getting the right pronunciation of the consonants and the vowels. I'm not going to make it an academic exercise, but I'm just going to share with you perhaps 7 problematic consonants or vowels. Let's start with really the one that really is most problematic, because the TH sound appears in many versions, such as the, or teeth, or these, or those. So really, what is a way to ensure that you get it right? My way, which is of course not always the most orthodox way. And when I mean the orthodox way, it means that you have something like this, telling you how to place your mouth, how to place your tongue, how to open your mouth, how to breathe slowly. Now all these are useless, because every child, when he goes to an English class, will receive something like this in a kind of exercise sheet, 英语先修. But then it never worked, because if it should work, then we would not have this problem in the first place. And it might also be useful when you want to deal with your students when you become a teacher. Now let's start with the most simple thing, the TH sound. The way to remember is try to pretend that you have your tongue between your teeth. So to pronounce the TH sound, which is with a voice less effort, that is, you put your tongue between your teeth and say the. Now, Athena, you are not putting your tongue between your teeth. The. So we'll practice that. The. Now, why do we have a problem? The problem is because we Chinese people do not feel it is really polite to stick our tongue out like this. And therefore, we somehow instinctively refrain from sticking our tongue out. So the way to get it done correctly is to fight this problem and stick your tongue between your teeth and say the. Now, you people over there also try that, the. So the book. These books. Now when it comes to the silent consonant, it's very simple. You just put your tongue between your teeth, such as teeth or tooth. Teeth or tooth or double tenth. And then you somehow press your diaphragm so that some air will come out. And that is the way to ensure you get the most perfect pronunciation of the v or. Now you have to go home and practice. And once you get used to it, then somehow you are able not to exaggerate that much. And you are able to pronounce the word the without pretending to be a snake. So you can pronounce them like the, without really making a special effort. And yet, the sound that you produce will be the perfect one. The second one deals with V and F. One of the problem is, I'm very good, I'm very good, I'm very good, I'm very good. This is very, very nice. I like it very much. I like it very much. Now this is what I usually hear from students. Now in order to get this V, the voice vowel, all you have to do is to pretend you were actually a rat. So you put your teeth in front of your lower lips. Very. Or very fine.
Very fine.
You see, this is how it works. So all you have to do is just to put your teeth above your lower lips, pretending you were a rat or something, or a mouse, and then you get it absolutely 100% right. So that's it's so simple. I got it because I try to teach children how to get the right pronunciation. I try to use the traditional method, which is how you should put your tongue, how you put your mouth, and how do you breathe. It never worked because children really are not so easy in acquiring really all these difficult instructions. Now, there's another area of problem, M and N. when you pronounce the word M, the only thing to remember is you have to close your mouth. So if you say McDonald's, not McDonald's, but McDonald's. Or if you want to use the word M, the sound M as a last syllable, such as doom, all you have to do is to close your mouth. Doom. Because if you don't close your mouth, what will you produce? Something like this. Doom is doom, is doom, is doom. Where versus doom. And when you close your mouth completely so that no air comes out, then the pronunciation will be perfect. When it comes to N, my trick is you use your tongue to touch the back of your teeth. So if I say no, what I would do is I put my tongue behind my teeth and say no, no, no. Or if I want to use the word ton, a ton of, let's say, rice, ton, ton. And so this is how you get it right. So it all has to do with your tongue, the place of your tongue. Now, but what happens if you have the ing form? Going. All you have to do is to open your mouth and somehow ask the tip of your tongue to touch the back of your lower teeth. So you will say going, going,
Going.
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 Because when you do that, what you will feel is that will be some sort of vibration up there. And when you get that vibration, it means that you are producing a sound that is very distinct. Then it comes to this WH sound. Apparently the way to do the WH sound is to pretend you have a feather on your palm. And you blow into this feather, the feather will come up and down. So it is extremely useful if you actually have a piece of paper with you. So I'll pretend that I have a piece of paper. And if I really want to do the WH sound correctly, such as where, or when, or whom. Now the way to do it is to see if this piece of paper jumps up and down. Where, 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 where. You see, my thing, when I do it, my piece of paper actually vibrates and moves. Where, you see, it works. But if I do it incorrectly, that means this piece of paper will not float. So, where, where? You see, I'm shouting at this piece of paper and it's not moving. Or when? You see, nothing is happening. Or why? You see, nothing. But if it's done correctly, this is what happens. You don't have to shout. Where? You see? Or when? You see? When? So what you're really doing is you are blowing air into this piece of paper. And when you blow air into this piece of paper, you produce a where sound, which is more correct, more distinct than other. Now, why are these things important? Because these vowels and consonants deal with the most common English words, such as the. Practically, you find a THE in every sentence. And the WH is being used to ask questions, such as why, when, who, and which. And this is why, for example, in My Fair Lady, Professor Higgins complained that the Londoners dropped H's everywhere because the people in London, the Cockneys, somehow when they pronounce English, they drop the H's. So they'll pronounce something like Harry instead of Harry. But when you do a Harry, you have to breathe, such as where and when and which. Now when you do something like that, your WH questions will be very distinct because people will know that you're asking a question. That is the air coming out from your mouth. And it also transforms the sound that you make. For example, compare the difference. Where, and where. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Which one do you want? Which one do you want? Or versus which one? And who are you? Versus Who are you? Who are you? Then when you do something like that, it affects really your whole sentence pattern. And now this is really a very big problem for the people in Hong Kong. Because I remember someone saying, I like you very much. I like you very, or I like you very much. Or my room. Actually, what someone wants to say is my room. So let's start with this, the R. When you have an R, what you have to do is to curl your tongue. Now, that is somehow you try to curl your tongue as to the back of your mouth, because as if you don't feel very comfortable. You try to get something out or something at the back of your throat. So you do something like that in order to get something out from your throat. So when you pronounce an R sound, it is right, 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 right. The problem is because people thought you have to you have to curl your tongue, and people don't know how to curl one's tongue. So basically, you cannot curl your tongue. Nobody can curl one's tongue. Why you can't curl your tongue? Because one is not used to curling one's tongue. So I suggest instead of curling your tongue and vibrate, all you have to do is just to put your tongue at the back of your mouth. And so you pronounce such as right or wrong, wrong. Now to do the L sound, that's even simpler. All you have to do is to pretend that you're eating something and something stuck to the top of your palate. That's you were chewing on gum or you're having a sweet, and you want to get rid of it with your tongue. So you touch it. You try to remove something, because as you were biting something, something got stuck at your soft palate. That's quite natural, because sometimes when you eat crab, 螃蟹, or sometimes when you have a very sweet thing, you end up having something on your palate. And so you try to remove it with your tongue, and this is what people do. And when you remove that, you pronounce the I like you very much. I like, like, light, L-I-G-H-T, light, light. So finally it is the O. The O is, you can pronounce, you'll get a very perfect O if your mouth is very round, then you can actually put a pebble in it. So O come all ye faithful. O holy night. This is how it should sound, not O holy night. O holy night. O. So when your mouth is absolutely round, then you produce the perfect O. Then of course there are other words such as I, such as buy, or oi, boy, ear, here. Now if you take a look at me, you find what I'm doing is my mouth moves when I produce these diphthongs. So I, my, oi, boy. And so to combine them, my boy is ear here, here. You see how my mouth actually moves. And if you can get those things done, and you look at a mirror, then you know you are getting the right pronunciation. As again, I'm pointing out that what I'm doing here is not to give a lecture on the phonetics, as if I were a teacher from the linguistics department. What I'm doing is just showing you there are ways to help one to overcome problems. Then there's another trick that you might want to acquire. That is, sometimes we say that we have no intonation. No intonation. When we ask a question, we don't know how to get the right intonation. So my suggestion is to do something like this. You sit down, and then you get up. And as you get up, you ask a question, such as, are you coming here? You see, naturally, it forces you to have a rising intonation. So this is done not because of you struggling to produce, are you coming here? That's unnatural. But if you're trying to sit down and come up, Are you coming here? It naturally produces the most natural intonation. Or I try another again. Is your name John? Why am I doing it? It's not because I wanted to produce this. Is your name John? I'm really trying to lift up my voice. But my voice is being lifted up mechanically because as a human being, if I sit down, my hair is up there. When I am lifted up, then somehow my body forces me to produce a kind of movement. And that movement actually is the perfect movement for creating a question. So try again. Are you late? You see the difference? I didn't even make a special effort to say, are you late? I'm just simply doing this. Are you late? So these are all the small tricks. And with these small tricks, such as playing with a feather, learning how to ask a question by just standing up. You see, even if I were not asking a question, you see there's a change in my voice. I'm coming to school. You see, even the very act of rising from my chair forces me to change my pitch. And that would be useful if you turn it into asking questions. So you might prepare maybe 20 questions, and you do it again and again, such as, are you coming home? Is your name John? Simple question. And you do it many, many times. So eventually, once you get the right intonation, then you don't have to worry about how to get it there. All you have to do is to think of really the sound you make, the intonation, as you rise from your seat. And then you will be able to acquire the perfect thing. Now, I want you all to come out and practice with me. So please come to the front. 来练习练习啊！因为你们如果去教英，就叫 think of a question, and as you ask the question, stand up. What I want to do is, I want you to try it out to see if I'm really correct. 就我的这个方法是不是最好的？如果不是的话，你就不用，对不对？如果真的最好的话 ，Why not take it? It's so simple. Right, start with the first one. 好，这个麦克的，每样问一个问题，问的时候顺便站起来，然后你觉得是不是 ？Is that really? Does it help you?
Go to school?
Try again.
Do you go to school?
Right. Next.
How are you?
Next.
Are you crazy?
Are you crazy? You see, that's good. Crazy, right?
Are you hungry?
Right.
Could you open the door?
What are you doing here? Is it working? Right. Right. Now I want you to practice all. Let's say the TH sound. Starting again from the first one. Try to produce. Try to do this pair, such as TH, such as the, and then T. And now then do very fine. And then think of a word that begins with an M, such as McDonald's, mine. And then that one word that ends with an N, such as moon. Then going. Another word, which. Another word, right. Light. And then oh. So you all have to pronounce this the way I want you to do it. So you think of a word, and you can try to create a word. Maybe this time we'll start with the gentleman. So you have to produce. 这是每一个用这些音标发音呢做每个字，看你可不可以做出来啊？对。那第一个开始啊，对，看你对不对啊？那what we have to do is what I want to do is I'll give you a word and you follow me and we'll record you. But I want to record your face to see if you are doing what I want you to do. 就把你记录下来。All right，你跟我念就行了啊。If you follow my instructions, you get it right. And if you don't get it right, I will tell you. So let's start with the first one. The teeth. Second one. Very. Fine. Moon. No. Going. Where. Right. Light. Oh. Next. 我们把你的腔录下来，只要你们这里有错的话，你就可以自己说。Because I want you to look at your face, otherwise you won't have a chance to look at your face. The. You see, if I keep on doing that, that means Athena is not really doing exactly because there's a slight difference. So stick out your tongue. This is why I have to force you to practice. Because if you don't practice, you won't get it right. The. Teeth. Very. Fine. Moon. McDonald's. Night. Going. Where. Right. Light. Oh. Next. So we're going to record everyone. The. Teeth. Very. Fine. McDonald's. No. Going. Where? Did you feel the air?
Yes.
Right. Right. Light. Oh. You see, it's not wrong. This is what I'm saying. Why do you want to record this? Because you thought you were creating the right, let's say, oh. But this is the proof that you are not, because your mouth is not wrong. Oh. I. That is, I want to see if that's really the change of the shape of your mouth. Oi. Ear. If you do not see a lot of changes, that means there's something wrong. This is the trick. So starting with, let's say, Academy small, let's say it's I. Oi. Ear. You see, there's no movement. Ear. Oi. I. Oi. My. Right, next. So we have to make sure that you are really. Basically, this is not for show. This is for you when you go home, because you will see whether you are really opening your mouth or not. My. You see, it's not big enough. It's not. There's no great movement. I want to see some great movement. My. Yes, 张大一点. Oi. You say oi. Ear. Here. Air. Oh. Right. Next. Just what I want you is to record your mouth, because I want people to know, you to know basically, are you really opening your mouth or not? Mine. Oi. Ear. Here. Where? Right, next. So starting with the. Right. The. Teeth. Very. Fine. McDonald's. No. You see, it's a combination of and o. It's no. And you must round it. No. Right? Going. Where? When? Which? Who? You can feel really my breath blowing into the microphone. Who? You see?
Who?
Versus who? You see, there's no vibration. There's no air coming in. But who? You see? Who? Not who. Who? Right. Robert. Robert. Late. Oh. I. Oi.
Oi.
Ear.
Ear.
Here.
Here.
Right? Next. Such as starting with the th. The.
The.
Teeth.
Teeth.
Very.
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 Fine.
Fine.
Mm. McDonald's. McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Moon.
Moon.
No.
No.
Going.
Going.
Which.
Which.
Who.
Who.
When.
When.
Where.
Where.
Where. Where. Where. I must feel the air. Where's the where? Where is not where, but where? Because what I'm doing is this. I know we're exaggerating. Nonetheless, if you exaggerate, then they know you're asking a question. Because you're giving people a tip that I'm going to ask a WH question. The WH question is not a yes-no question. A yes-no question is something like this. Are you coming? The answer is yes, no. But when I ask a WH question, it means I want to have certain definite answers, descriptions. So where are you going? You cannot say yes. You have to say, I'm going to Hong Kong. I'm going to Puli. So if people can be ticked off, basically, if you pronounce it with the way I'm teaching you, then you are tipping off people. That means you are making yourself clearer to people. So if let's say you go to the bellboy, to the reception of a hotel, you say, where is the bus stop? Now the bellboy or the reception clerk will know that this is a WH question. He will not say, yes. He will say, he knows that you already asked a question. So what was the effect? The effect is your question becomes clear. And because your question is clear, so people will give you the correct answer. And then you become more confident. So when you ask for things, you get them. For example, there was a film called The Graduate. In The Graduate, I must show you the film. In the film, there was a graduate who was really dating an older woman, Mrs. Robinson. So in the hotel, he was trying to get the attention of the waiter. It didn't work. But Mrs. Robinson, with authority, said, waiter? And immediately, yes, Mrs. Robinson. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. That is, if you are able to speak well, you command authority. And people really do things the way you wanted them to do so. And that means an extra something, right? So let's start. Right.
Right.
Light.
Light.
And then O.
O.
Air.
Air.
I. Mine.
Mine.
Boy.
Boy.
Bay.
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 Bay. There's no law.
Bay.
Right. Bay. The bay. Right. Next. The. Teeth.
Teeth.
Very.
Very.
Fine.
Fine.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
McIver.
McIver.
McLeod.
Macau.
McManus.
McManus.
No.
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 Going.
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 Which.
Which.
When.
When.
Why.
Why.
When.
When.
Right. Then. Right.
Right.
Robert.
Robert.
Late.
Late.
Oh.
Oh.
I.
Mine.
My book.
Mine book.
Boy.
Boy.
My boy.
Mine boy.
My boy.
Mine boy.
Ear.
Ear.
Here.
Here.
Actually, there was a film called Brian's Life. This is a parody of Jesus Christ. So when people came to Pontius Pilate, they wanted Pontius Pilate to crucify Jesus. And they suddenly realized that Pontius Pilate could not pronounce R. So they keep on asking difficult problems, creating problems for for Pontius Pilate. So they asked him, we want to release Robert. And then, of course, Pontius Pilate could not pronounce the word Robert. He said, you want to release Robert? Robert? And so there was a whole play of words. And because the audience, the spectators, suddenly realized Pontius Pilate could not pronounce the word R. So they keep on playing, giving him difficult words. We want to release Robert. We want to release Ronnie. And so poor Pontius Pilate, you want to release Robert? You want to release Ronnie? And then it just went on and on and on. So if you ever see the film Brian's Life, which is a parody of Jesus, you see how people were really using basically their superiority over the pronunciation in order to humiliate other people. Right? So thank you very much. 谢谢. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have our first practice of public speaking. So next week, you all have to come to us for a 10-minute speech. Now what you are going to talk about, I already put it on the screen. That is, first, you try to choose a suitable subject that you think might be interesting to us. You might want to go home and produce a PowerPoint demonstration the way I'm really using this screen, because I want you to practice using all the new technological gadgets, as well as using the microphone. And I want you to give a lecture the way I'm giving a lecture to you now, so that I'm using the microphone, I'm standing on the side, I'm talking about something, and what I've spoken is already projected over there. And that will give you more and more training over the confidence and the ability to speak to the public. So first, you have to choose a subject. Try to think of a subject that might be interesting to us. Think of the audience. We are the audience. Anyway, you don't have to copy this, because it's all on the internet. And I will tell you how to find this on our English classroom, 线上课程. So you will find it. You do have to take notes, but you might want to elaborate on those. Then you have to find out what is the specific purpose of this talk. Why do you want to give us this talk? What do you want us to get from the talk? So there must be a purpose. For example, today my talk is how to make a good speech. So I'm speaking to students. My purpose is to teach you how to give a good speech, starting from the beginning. Now, please roll on. Thank you. Right. And you have to learn how to organize your speech the way you are writing a composition. Try to use note cards, so that when you talk about things, you don't have to show us a piece of paper, and your paper will not cover all of us. Then, you have to practice at home. And you might also want to practice using this 4 million NT classroom, because we are very lucky. We have a 4 million NT classroom. We have the best. You can show videos, DVDs, you can have projectors, you have the internet links. So they're all at your disposal. So my advice is get a friend who will help you with the audio-visual aid, while you just do what I'm doing here. Try to speak with confidence. Try to speak as if you know what you're doing. Try to bluff your way through. Next, please. Finding material. Now, material, you might want to interview people. So you can even use a camera or a camcorder. For example, you might want to find out there's interesting things that affect our students, such as the situation of the dogs on the campus, or the situation of food, or dormitory, or whatever you want to talk about. So you can interview people. You can also use the radio or the television. You might, if you are very good, you can actually video something or tape something from the television, from the radio, and show it as you are giving a talk. Now all these are known as audio-visual support. Still, you are the main speaker. All the rest is just to impress people. Like, for example, I can come here wearing shorts, or I can come here wearing a tie and jacket. If I wear a tie and jacket, I'm trying to impress people, telling people that I'm very serious, I'm learned, I'm rich. And when I use all the audio-visual aids, such as I use a television program, I use a CD, I use a very good or very well organized PowerPoint, Then I'm showing people that really I've done some research. I'm not just coming here unprepared. So this I leave to you. And sometimes you can even have newspapers, clippings, because we have this special projector, which will enable you to project even a book or a newspaper onto the screen. But the important thing is, when you try to deal with something like this, you have to be prepared. Come here, maybe during lunch hours, to learn how to use these things from a teaching assistant. Next, please. Then you organize your speech material. It's very much like writing a composition. You try to find out what is your topic sentence. What are you really trying to tell us? How are you going to make your topic sentence interesting? Tell us some anecdotes. Tell us some facts. Give us some details. And then all your supporting evidence will be able to make your speech interesting. Then you have to outline your work so that your outline will appear on your note card. And when you have your note card, you just really use your note card to remind you what you are going to talk about. The note card is not meant to be your paper. You are not supposed to read from your note card. Your note card is just a reminder. So in your note card, you might have general outlines, or words, or figures, or facts as reminders in case you forget. And so your note card should just be used as a sort of aid. They are not supposed to take over you. What I'm trying to point out all the time is, when a person gives a speech, he is the actor. People all look at him. And it is his acting, his speech that matters. The rest are just props. So never mix up this relationship. You are the boss. You are in charge of giving the talk. The rest are just helping you. Right, next please. And this you will go into details. And you have to look at it yourselves, such as how to prepare a speech. The details, such as, do you want to begin the speech with a quotation? Do you want to begin the speech with an anecdote? Do you want to show us something? Some facts and statistics? This is up to you. So you can make your speech interesting. And then you go to the main point. The main point is, what are you trying to tell us? Are you trying to sell us something? Are you trying to give us some insight? Are you going to sell yourself to us that you want to be president of the student council or the class representative? So this really is the theme of your talk. Next, please. Then you have to prepare a conclusion. The conclusion is basically a reiteration of your purpose, so that we don't leave this room forgetting what you really want us to do. To buy your product, to buy your service, to know something that we did not know before. So that should be the reiteration of the conclusion. Next. Then, when you give the speech, what is really important is clarity. This we have dealt with. Clarity means the exact, proper pronunciation. Do it very slowly. Speak with resonance. Try to make every word clear. Pronounce the last syllables and the last consonants so that we hear precisely what you're trying to tell us. So when you give a speech, it's not as if you would have a conversation. You really make a special effort to speak well. And so next week, I want you to speak well, not just to have a conversation. So another thing you might want to be able to do is try to ask a friend to listen to you, or try to record your 10-minute speech, so that you have a chance to hear how you speak. Next, please. Then you try to emphasize your main points. This can be done through reiteration. And next, please. Right. And you also learn how to adapt yourself to the language of your audience. Your audience are the students from NCNU, second or third year students. And they're young. And so you try to speak in such a way that your audience will be interested in what you're talking about. You are not giving let's say, a presentation to your teacher. You are basically speaking to the students. Next, please. Then, try to work very carefully with your bodily motion. That is, you have to look at the people that you are speaking to. Eye contact. You have to speak with a smile, with confidence, and also with interest. Because you don't want people to listen to you if you are not interested in the thing yourself. So even if you hate cats, you are not interested in cats. Nonetheless, if you are going to talk about cats, try to sound as if you really love cats. Then if you must have movements, see the movement I'm doing, producing. I'm not having jerky movements. I'm not moving from one end of the room to another end of the room. I basically stay where I am. I have some movements, but my movements follow my talk. They do not distract you. They somehow help you to see that I'm trying to stress something. So movements should be natural. They should not be jerky. And my movement should not be mechanical, like Adolf Hitler doing this all the time. Next, please. So you also have another important thing is you have to time your speech. You have only 10 minutes because at first I want you to talk for 30 minutes, and there was a bargain to 20 minutes, and 20 we have now 10. So make sure that you really use up your 20 minutes. That is the greatest problem of giving a speech is people always are afraid to speak. But the minute they start speaking, they can't stop. So this 10 minutes becomes a 30-minute speech. And that's usually what happens. And so make sure you time your speech. Time meaning that I have 20 minutes. Maybe the first 2 minutes in the introduction. And then I go to the main body of my speech. My slides, my audiovisual aids somehow fit into my talk. And then when it's about to finish, I give my conclusion. I reiterate my main concerns, my proposals. Then I finally, when it's time, maybe half a minute earlier or half a minute later, doesn't matter, I gracefully finish. And when you finish, all you have to do is just to lower your voice a bit, and then they know that this is the end of the speech. You don't have to say, thank you, that's all, folks, goodbye. No, you don't have to. All you have to do is just to slowly go down, slow down a bit, and then lower your voice, and then people know, and people will start clapping. Right, and next please, this is the last. So we also have some tips of how to improve the quality of your voice. We did that during the first class. But basically, try to do what I'm doing. I'm trying to make my pronunciation clear. I try to speak, not to shout. I try to have resonance. That is my voice to travel to the end of the room. I try to pronounce every last word, every syllable, every consonant. And I try to speak with confidence and with perhaps concern and joy. I know that my English, no matter how good it is, it will never be perfect because I was not brought up in America. But if I were brought up in America, then I couldn't speak Chinese the way I have spoken. I'm speaking in English. So I do my best. I don't worry if I make mistakes. People will still praise me, I know, even though I have mistakes in my speech. Because for a Chinese doing so well, that's not easy. So this is what you should be doing. Because I'm not aiming to be as good as a native speaker. But as a non-native speaker, I'm the best. And this is really what you should aim at. That is, we're not trying to speak like an American. We cannot. But as a non-native speaker, we are going to do better than other non-native speakers. And if you can attain that, then you score a perfect score. Right. Then, of course, if you have any problems, you have to come to me. And also, when you practice your speech, try to work with a friend so that your friend will be able to enlighten you. Next, please. So as I told you earlier, this is the conclusion. Try to speak forcefully. This is what I'm doing. I'm speaking to you forcefully. Try to acquire the right pitch. That means don't start like this. Today I want to talk to you about how to make a good speech. And the quality of your voice. That is, if you really want to have a good quality of your voice, It can happen. I remember even today, I was struck by my children because when they want things from me, when they're trying to please their little brothers and sisters, they change the quality of their voice because they try to seduce or tempt or try to bribe the little brother or little sister. And so people's voice quality do change when they want to persuade people. So we have to change the quality of our voice. We have to change our voice, the quality, to a persuasive quality. Now how do you do it? Because you really want to do it. And even children know how to do that. My children know how to change their voice to a pleasing quality when they want to bribe the younger brothers and sisters. Or when they try to bribe us in taking them out to fancy restaurants or taking them out to toy shops. Right, next, if there's still next. That's it. So thank you very much. So next week, I want all of you to do 10 minutes of video-aided, spontaneous speech. You choose a subject, you try to enthuse us, you try to get acquainted with this classroom. Thank you.
Okay. That's all.
Thank you.
Why? Well, I don't want to have it